White balance.
I got it.
What'd you get it on? Producer as well as talent. And my job is to be sure the thing can be very distracting on television, as you know. Okay, so we're rolling. Harley Medcalf, welcome to Dallas.
Thank you very much.
I must tell you straight away that I know your country and I know Sydney quite well, and I absolutely love your country, love your people, and Sydney is amazing, wonderful place.
Yeah, it's a great place to grow up, really wonderful place.
Well, of course, we're here to talk about Burn the Floor. Let me ask you, first of all, who thought up the title and what does it mean?
Well, a friend of mine gave me a very old CD, Fats Waller, actually, which has this little piece of music.
Why don't you start over, because I know that distracted you. It won't pick up on your mic, but it is distracting. Okay, so go ahead.
A friend of mine gave me a very old Fats Waller song on CD, which is about going out, having a good time, and burning your leather on the floor with someone else's daughter. It just depicted a little bit of the Burn the Floor style, which is, let your hair down, have a great time, and Burn Your Leather on the Floor became Burn the Floor, the name of the show.
Very appropriate.
Yeah.
This show got its inspiration from Elton John's 50th birthday bash. Must have been one whale of a party.
He's an incredible person, but also his parties are just so over the top. And it's almost, the formal entertainment was ballroom dancing, and it was almost as if they were being thrown to the sharks. The party was in such full swing, but they came out and literally took over within minutes, just with youth and vibrance and energy. And I just found the whole thing, their achievement on that night, inspiring.
So did you say to yourself that very night, this has to be a stage production?
Well, I met the dancers later in the evening, and I was surprised by the values that they had. The embracement of life, their commitment to dance, commitment to their partner, their vitality, their energy. I mean, all wonderful qualities that are hard to find, really hard to find. And here, this entire group possessed it. And that was really the thing that got me going. How can these young kids have this commitment? They're not being paid for it. They're all holding down 3 jobs to improve their skill. So that's the part that really thought, I just want to find out more about these people and what they do. And the thing is, the more I found out, the more interested and committed I became, and more in developing the idea of taking the traditions and their loves and combining them with a technology to make it grow.
It is an international company, but do I understand that there will be no U.S. dancers in this Dallas company?
There's no U.S. dancers in this company. We have a vocalist from Los Angeles, Angela Teague, who's our American inspiration. But the company, which is here now, has been together for 15 months, and there is no US dancers. We have been auditioning for a while, but no vacancy at the moment.
Do the US dancers not compare with the others?
It's a tough question. Burn the Floor is a really open freedom of expression, and we have had a couple of US couples through, and they haven't gelled with us at this stage. We're about the collective, not the individual, and a lot of the competition dancers are about the solo performance. We need them to embrace the ensemble, and we haven't really got that yet. We audition every city we go to, but at this stage, no US dancers in the company.
How many dancers or how many couples will we see on stage?
We'll have 32 dancers here, 16 couples, plus Angela, the vocalist. So yeah, 32.
And how many different companies do you have going around the world?
Well, we had 2 companies last year. Because of the demand in the casinos in America, we created a second company. But this year, because we're doing another world tour, we've just settled on one company.
What does it cost to mount a show like this?
Well, I think physically, enormous cost on yourself. It's you have to give it everything. I mean, Burn the Floor is my life. It's my total commitment. to the show. I give it everything I've got. I mean, financially, millions of dollars. But the real commitment is from, not only from myself as producer, but all of the staff and the collaborators and the dancers who give up everything they've got as well to make a show like this, be able to tour and to go out on the road 7-8 months of the year and give up home and the luxuries to dance.
Most of your, let me rephrase that, you're an Australia-based company,
Yeah.
and most of your dancers come from Australia. What is it about Australia and this tradition of ballroom dancing?
Well, Australians like to have a good time. Dancing with your partner, social dancing, touched. You're in the arms of your partner. I mean, I think it's just something we embrace. We party hard, we enjoy ourselves, but we like sharing that experience as well. And it just built an amazing culture in Australia.
But would you say that it is more prominent in Australia than any other country in the world?
I think Japan actually has the strongest ballroom dance culture that we've found. Absolutely unbelievable. There is, I think, 50,000 registered dance couples in the Tokyo area alone. I mean, it's extraordinary.
Do the dancers from different countries have different styles of interpreting the same ballroom dance?
They do. I think each culture has developed their own interpretation. I mean, when you get down to the classic waltz, there's not that much interpretation you can give, but the way the personality lights up the piece can make it totally different. I think what we've tried to do is encourage the personalities of the dancers, rather in competition where they're told how to look, what expression you must have. We want them to express the joy of the dance, just through personality and vibrance. And if it's not technically perfect, well, that's fine. We're not there to be the most technically perfect show. We want to be well choreographed. But if the personality takes over, and we've had occasions where, in some of the more vibrant numbers, where some of the dancers are off the stage and into the audience because they just love what's happening out there as well. So it can be quite spontaneous, and that comes from the personality.
There's no dialogue throughout this show, is there?
No.
So how do you tie it together, and how do you segue from one to the next?
It's really about the pacing. We try and push it as hard as we can to the limit of what the dancers can do in a 7 or 8 minute piece, and then we'll change the tempo. We'll go from a frenetic, fast-paced, energetic piece to perhaps a rumba, which allows the dancers to settle, allows the audience to settle, and then we'll push it again. It's really it's a very loosely linked show that flows through one couple who are, in essence, the main link couple who appear in the link sections of each and draw the audience into the piece. But it's really just about the combination of the period of the music, the choreography, and the colour that comes with costume and light that takes you on the journey.
Is your music live or taped?
It's taped. We recorded it in London with a 90-piece orchestra, so the orchestrations are very lush. We've invested a lot in the sound itself. It's not sort of an on-off switch. The sound is on 16 tracks and mixed for every venue, so you get the fullness and the lushness that can change, because every theatre is different. But we've gone, to be able to hear the lushness of those original arrangements. It's worked well for us.
And for the dancers to have the consistency.
They have the consistency. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Harley, thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Bobbie.
And we look forward to the show when it comes in April.
Thank you very much.
And I'm anticipating a really spectacular evening.
Thank you. That's great.
We'll do 2 shots.
Is there ever a chance that you'll take it to Broadway?
It's a dream. Yeah, absolutely. We've played Radio City, which was our sort of introduction to New York, and that was pretty amazing. But it's finding finding people who'll invest emotionally in the show as well as financially. I mean, just finding the right combination, the right time. I mean, you make your own luck in this life, but you know, I feel it will come eventually, and you know, perhaps we're not ready. That's why we're not there. But I believe we will get there eventually. Yeah.
Do you get compared to Tango Argentina?
We get compared to a few different things, but you know, we're pretty unique in what we do. I mean, we have a little bit of everything, but I think any comparison, I'm more than happy to be compared to Tango Argentina or any other dance. The fact that we've been spoken about to me is a wonderful bonus.
Yeah. Okay.
But one of my most interesting experiences with Marlene Dietrich, I worked with her in 1974 for 2.5
Her
months.
show played here in Dallas.
She broke a leg on the opening night in Sydney, unfortunately. It was a very amazing night.
Oh, she fell off the stage.
She tripped
Oh, tripped.
coming on for her opening, broke her hip,
Oh my gosh.
curtain comes down. Quite unbelievable. She refused to go in the ambulance, had to be carried into the Rolls Royce. And obviously in incredible pain, but refused to be seen in front of her fans, who of course you can imagine were massive around the stage floor. Refused to be seen departing, had to leave in the Rolls Royce. And the pain she would have gone through to endure being put in the back of a car with a broken head, just because she was like the ultimate in, this is the way I do it my way and no other way. And you're feeling the pain for it. But that was one of the most incredible experiences.
Oh, I've never heard that story. That's fabulous. Okay, we're ready? All right. What did you see in the dancers that night at the Elton John birthday party?
Wait just a second.
Okay.
No, you can go.
What did you see that night at the Elton John birthday party that made you think this has to be on stage?
It was really the electricity that the dancers created, the energy force, the way they stopped this room.
That's fine. Okay. In this company, you have no U.S. dancers.
No, we're auditioning still.
Do the U.S. dancers just not compare with the others?
Yeah, they compare. It's sort of the personality, trying to find the dancers that fit within the collective rather than ones who want to be an individual.
What is it about ballroom dancing in Australia that has become so popular?
Well, we love the partner dancing, the social dance, the touch dancing, being in your arms with your partner. You know, Australians love to socialise, love to go out, love to dance.
Does ballroom dancing have its biggest audiences in Australia?
I think Japan, what we've found, Japan is the biggest ballroom dance audience in the world.
All right. Okay, one last question. Your dancers come from so many different countries. Do you find that the different dancers, I want to shorten this question, okay. Do the dancers from different countries
Hold on
have...
just a second. They're still wondering. Now they're clear.
Do the dancers from different countries interpret the ballroom dancing in different ways?
Well, I think through their personalities, the choreography can be identical, but the personality can light up the piece in a different way.
Okay. That should